Welcome, guys, on another Sunday, our lovely Fireside. It's been a quite interesting week, and the next one is going to be even more interesting. It's going to be a little bit volatile as well, like what I assumed from the news, what's coming, and how the market behave. So I want to go to see how we did it last week and what's to see and what we're going to prepare for the next one. And I want to go buy some alts. Yeah, let's have a look on it. So far, it was a good week actually for me as well. I didn't trade much through the weekend just because we had a lovely King's birthday day weekend, how you call it. And it was an amazing party. So I'm a little bit from yesterday, so I'm a little bit slow on that one, but it's all fine. Let's get to the charts. First thing first, I want to go by the monthly. The most interesting thing right now, what I want to see is the close on the monthly, but that's going to be next week. But the weekly, instead of that, that's the even more interesting right now. It all depends if you're going to close above or below the yearly. We still technically bearish backtest the previous structure, but took us to the downside, right? So flip this yearly level, we will go higher to the next resistance area. If not, close below, we might go a little bit higher just to test it and then go to the 86 to close the whole gap, or whatever you want to call it. But that's all depends how the week's gonna behave, right? First thing first, I want to see how we're gonna close today. But that means if we're gonna close above it or below it. We still can have some fuckery with it, so it's gonna be like sneaky closes. Watch out for it. It all depends on the close today, actually. So yeah, I want to we'll watch it later on in the night as well today. And yeah, that's the weekly chart for me. That's most important. Daily looks quite interesting. We are kind of it's like facing to the downside a little bit more. We start to break down on the locally on the lower time frame. On the high time frame, we didn't break it yet. It all depends. If you're gonna close this daily candle below the yearly, then yes, we broke the structure. Local daily structure, we broke it. So we will see any kind of retrace on it, or pullback, or whatever, or fill the gap, or come test the weekly. That's all still open. Lower than that, we still have some things to test, but that's I'm not sure if we're gonna even reach it. We might, but let's see how this week's gonna go. Still locally, what we want to see is the daily closed below or above the yearly, and then the what's open. First thing first is the gap, but then the weekly, previous weekly is gonna be then it's still untested on the high time frame. Yeah, that's still kind of ish the things what we could do from today, from tomorrow. Monday is always quite volatile, just because it's a full weekly open on the market, so that one can go both ways. Okay, 4 hour. We had a quite sell-off on the 4 hour and a liquidity grab. And I want to mention that one as well, because to be honest, I can't stretch it enough, like how to the T it went on the swing, 4 hour swing levels. Why they are important. Now there we have it. That's why. That was fucking amazing short. I took it as well. And so far, we still carry on to the downside. Like I said, locally on the lower time frame, we start breaking it slowly, but structure-wise, we start to breaking it. We test. We had the previous swing test, so this was your test. We still carry on to the downside. So far, the only thing what you want to see is right the close below the yearly, and then the next one. I already had it planned out. This swing area from the 4 hour, what took us to the high of 95. Right, this is still the area of interest of my, and technically that's as well stupid fib. Fits as a fucking glove, right? Nice in the pocket. This is your interest area. What you want to watch it for to have a nice long on it. Still, it's still on the table. That's the only one what's still it's valid yet. Then and only then, it depends all what we're gonna do from the next week, right? Even if you go lower than the yearly, it's fine. But then it depends if you're gonna hold it 92. So then you're gonna have your long bounce from it, right? And you carry on to the upside, and then you will go to the next resistance area. We're gonna talk that in a second. That all depends. Break that, then it's not much to say. Then we're gonna have a pullback, retest bearish, create a low high, and you carry on to the downside, right? That's your make it or break it point so far for the next week. That's the only point of interest right now. Even then, right now, yes, we still can go and go ballistic from this point or whatever, if they push it or what the market is going to do. You never know. But so far, how it stands, we bearish backtest on the 4-hour, the 95 level price action, and we carry on to the downside, right? The next stop, it's going to be around the 92k. That's your swing, 4-hour swing, even 2 fib in the pocket. And I guess there was there was some 100 X's as well on it. So yeah, it fits as a nice bounce from it. So, right? And we still can have a bounce after we break that. Right? We still can have close below, wicket into it, come back, pull back, and then we have the perfect short. If that's gonna be play. If not, we're gonna hold this level. Then we carry on to the upside. Please show where it broke the structure. How far can you see where it broke? We broke this structure to the upside, yes. But on the lower time frame, we start to break this. Not on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we didn't yet. We bearish backtested only this swing. We didn't go higher than that. So far, that's why we still carry on to the downside, Prabhu. And this is the point of interest for me. This is make it or break it. Gain this, we have continuation, and we go to the higher possibility of resistance. Fail this, then weekly it is, previous weekly. I'm not sure we're gonna, maybe we're gonna have a little stop over here, bounce it, and then carry on. But that's how it looks like for now. And you literally line in the sand is the yearly so far. I want to see lows of the weekly above or below. That's the only thing. The rest of the levels doesn't matter yet. That's what I want to see. Just because, like I mentioned, your weekly, what we do so far, and still is this. Flip this, then you go higher to the next resistance, and higher time for resistance is the 105, I guess. Let me have a look. Yeah, your next resistance area. If we flip this, but still, it doesn't mean we can go in one go. We still can have a pullback on it, and then go. Right? Because look how the weekly candles are forming. There's always, most of the time, some wicks on it. Evening. So yeah, that's the point of interest for now and the next week. And even then, we can maybe do something like this, like a fuckery, right? We don't need to come close to it. If the bull is gonna be that aggressive on it, we still can do that, right? We still can have a continuation in the move without even coming close to it. Most of the times, if we speak in the bull market, we need to front run as well the entries and everything, because it's quite aggressive, volatile, and it's not always that accurate that we'll come back to the levels that we plan. Okay, so that's one. I want to go see how the preparation from last week went. Yeah, kind of ish, a little bit higher and ranging it. So it's like I said, like I prefer the purple one, but eventually the green one will be better. But I didn't expect that we will go in one go higher, just because we blow off some steam after the move. So we are kind of cooling down the oscillators and all of the indicators with it, and preparing. We might have kind of like a squeeze, you can call it. I want to go by that as well, a little bit deeper on some metrics, what I want to show you guys as well, that I was looking at. Yeah, so far it's a sideways move, of course, and there is not much to say about it. I still didn't plot any new levels. To be honest, we still in the bigger 4-hour swing from the previous previous swing what we had, so we are kind of in it. We went outside that and we came back to it, so yeah, we still in the bigger move. This is still the area what's interest. And if you look at it, like, it played quite good, because those two lines are previous swings, right? High and low. And look how we fit, like literally inside the pocket. We went outside and now we are coming into it. Like, I can stretch enough like how important they are and how they play out. So that's one. I will separate that later on. Then the next thing, what's quite interesting, we are getting close to the stop. I mean, not really close, but you know, you get close to it to be stopped out on the holobot as well. If we're gonna print the next sell signal or whatever, it's gonna sell or it's gonna stop out, how you want to call it, then we might have a push higher, and then maybe have another swing, just because we cool off all the oscillators. Everything is going to the downside. Price as well, we was overbought, quite divergence as well, and yeah, we've been, yeah, fucking hell, quite divergence as well on it. So it's time to cool everything off, have a nice maybe liquidation grab, and then have a continuation or go lower. That's one. Then yeah, you can see that. That's good. I'm sharing the whole screen. Yeah, that's fine. Then the next one, same 4-hour. It's cooling off, but it's still massively divergence as well on it. So squeezing on the index. I really want to see if we're gonna go lower, right? So it all depends if we're gonna go and have a close below 92, because then we might see this and this and large caps, yeah, go lower. So you're gonna have this kind of price action, close below or not, or whatever. You come close to the swing area and then you have a bounce, but that bounce might be only to be backtest the whole swing, and then you have a continuation, or wick and grab some liquidity, come back, close below, and then have a go. That's what I'm looking for and waiting for, actually. Let me, my headphones went off. Okay, let me switch on some music. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking. And what I'm really like was watching it through the whole week. Most of the 150x's didn't go, and they didn't add it to the top side or up movements much. Most of the times they added to the lower side, so they try to fill the gaps. That's quite a sign as well. Yes, we still have that gap, or the gap, the pocket of liquidity or lower X liquidity in it. We still can grab that and do guess something like this move, right? Wick into it and then bounce back, right? Most of the times we did that. So I will not be surprised if we're gonna do this. Come in, wick into it, close, and then have a continuation. I will not be surprised to grab that and then go and grab all of this stuff down. Just because it's juicy. It's quite a lot. And that's why I'm quite interested on it. And we start to do quite same movement as we did it over here, right? We did that as well. It was a sneaky close, not really sneaky. We closed below and then we start grinding it, and we have the pop off. So this still can happen over here, right? Could be. Watch it. If we're gonna grind it, and we're gonna, after the low, we're gonna create higher lows. So yeah, that might happen as well if we're gonna push it to the volatility and everything. So this same move can happen over here, and then we might have a cool off bounce to the downside. So all depends. Still can. Still is on the side. And why do I have those things over here? Then I want to go by the index flow on the ecosystems. Still quite interesting that USDT is quite high on go by 1 hour. So technically 1 hour, like most of it is out on the side. It's waiting. Then 4 hour, not much changing on that one actually. Okay, yeah, I will text you later. Yeah, 4 hours as well, quite heavy on the side. And we are starting to go into the downside, so we might have a quite big bounce on it. Daily, it's interesting, it's middling. Only 50% on the portfolio on Bitcoin, so quite heavy on the side. It's interesting actually to follow that. And yeah, I mean, that's why I said daily, it will be depending on how we're gonna close it today from it. So yeah, that's one. Then I want to go by an hype. I start to break some structure on 4 hour. We had a really cool, good short from the 19 bucks. Really good. Still kind of carry on to the downside. Let's see. I'm gonna go lower. I assume I was quite interesting actually in this, break this, then might have one more up and then go to 15 bucks. So far we're breaking the structure on the 4 hour, so it's cooling off, I guess. Yeah, it is. How the daily looks like. Okay, on the daily sides, I would like to see it, if you want to see it more to the downside, then close below the weekly. Then you might have more continuation to it. So far, we might bounce it back and have another swing on it. Yeah, 18 bucks. Because the 19 been perfectly tested already, even on a daily. So yeah, another swing. And I guess that's gonna be even our lovely and popular stupid fibs. It is, just because we broke the structure on the 4 hours, so it's still valid. That's one. So yeah, there is another one if we're gonna get there. Oh yeah, that's on hype. There it is as well, my injective. Like I mentioned as well, quite in a resistance, and we didn't even go. I was actually thinking we're gonna go even to 11 bucks, but we still in the resistance. We failed it. That daily fail, that was like perfect, really like sweet. We broke the 4 hour structure to like massively. Right now we're feeling it, and I guess we're gonna go touch the 9.6, bounce back, bearish backtest maybe the daily, and then I have a continuation. If we really want to go to the upside, then we need to gain the daily. That's your point of interest. So far, it is to the downside, like I mentioned on my previous stream. Sweet. That one did fucking ballistic moves. Really good one. Really one. But there is something to consider. We on 4 hour we start to break the structure, so that's already like one flag, and now you need to see if we're gonna break out of the 3.7 for the continuation to go to February. If so not, then we might have some cool off on that one. that might go even a little bit lower. So yeah, interesting, but take profits. It's really important on that one right now, because we did the big move on it, and we might have a continuation. They might push it even go higher, right? They don't give a shit about it. So yeah, they are strong enough, but structure wise, we are a little bit on cooling off or going sideways. Like that might be even like better position for Sui to something like this, not even going lower to March. You always can re-enter, but take profit, it only comes once. Remember that, guys. Solana is going, dude. That gain is massive. It's really good. I like that. And we didn't break the structure on 4 hours, so this one still continues. There it is. It was a point of interest, like I mentioned, and we still continue. We didn't break it. We went lower, but we closed above it, so that's good, even on the swing. So we hold the swing point, and yeah, we continue. That one might go even a little bit sideways and then go to Jan. Yeah, I like that. It's big one. It's gonna be massive. AVAX, boy. AVAX is a little bit disappointing lately. Structure-wise, moves are really good as well. Still big moves, but structure-wise is a little bit disappointing. So, yeah. This is your 4-hour depending candle. If you want to hold this structure, then you need to hold this. 21 bucks. Close it below. Yeah, you will go lower. 20 bucks. Feel the wick. Yeah. Weekly been really nice. Big trade on injective 4 hours. It's better to wait. We'll break the structure or the downside or retest to break. Definitely, if you want to take a trade on the 4 hour, then you need to wait. Right now, you are in the middle of it. So no point to go right now. If you will, or if you're able to go on a lower time frame, then yeah, you can find any trade on that one, on a lower time frame, on scalp, or like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But if you want to take it on 4 hour, then yeah, you wait for it. Why? Just because we broke massively this structure, right? Daily didn't been even tested on 4 hour. So the only thing what you left to is with this. That's your trade. Yeah, this is the first time we broke the structure on 4 hour. Technically this was as well, but we pushed through. But that's structure wise, right? So yeah, everything can happen. And on injective, it's a slow mover. This was on April 26th. Yeah. So yeah, I would suggest you to do something like this, or to wait for that. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not seeing more on it. So yeah, that's your structure. And you are in a resistance, below the resistance already. So yeah, it's already significant that we had the reaction from it, right? And we might have a continuation. If not, if this gonna change, the only thing what will change that on 4 hour is to break out above the 10 bucks, of course, and close everything above 10.6. To have a 4 hour close above here, then you're changing the whole structure, right? This is your point of flip. But even then, like most of the times when you're gonna see this, right, you have the pullback. So that short still can be valid if you are like on your risk and management quite well, and then you have the continuation, right? But of course, they can do something like this as well. Everything is possible. We did it already 3 times, kind of, which 4 times, not counting this. So yeah. But this is the trade right now, what you want to wait for it. If you want to be more like even more safe, then take this for granted. But that's been already in tested, so I'm not sure if you're gonna go that high even. Just continue to fail. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they don't. They just continue. That's true. But in this case, I don't think Injector will continue to fail and break that structure without even backtest anything, especially not the daily or the new daily, right? Just because, like, in my head, this, for example, if this is going to be daily open, this line is going to be daily open. Let me make it different color. Right, if this is your new daily open, the weekly open, you need to understand the weekly opens are quite volatile. So what's happened? You go up straight, right? And then you come back. So still, even you have that room to have volatile move, or even you can go higher, right? You can wick into it or something like this, and then you can fail on it. It's still possible, right? So the weekly opens are really, really strong, always stronger than the daily. It doesn't matter which daily, and monthly stronger than the weekly, right? So that's how you can see it. And that's why it's always important to watch the daily and the weekly opens. Because look what kind of moves we had on the daily opens, right? Yeah, okay, you had one big ass over here after the daily close, and we failed that, and we continue. This move here is horrendous, to be honest, but that doesn't matter. But then eventually you have the weekly, right? Compare those dailies, and okay, this one is quite good, but then from this weekly, backtest that weekly. Look at that, where we go, right? So yeah. See how important those levels are? Backtesting as well. Like this was you open, like look at that move, right? We went higher, so we still can do it over here. And then we come back, retest, hold it or fail it. And that's your sign what you're gonna do. This you sign what that week will do. Hold the weekly, you have a continuation. That's simple it is. And it still can happen over here. I just drew it. Like this can happen. Like open your weekly, go up, you have the volatility move, right? From the weekly move, you come back, and this is your moment that you decide like that short is gonna continue or I'm gonna flip into the long. Right? Because then you have this short coming in from here, right? And you might close it above it, right? If you close this structure above it, then what you're gonna have it from here to here, right? This is your long position. That's it. No. Right? And that's fucking hell. I need to change the colors again because it's let's say this one. If this is gonna be a weekly open, there you have it. You have the short from it or long, however you want to take it. If you want to scalp out from it, that's fine, right? And then you can flip it if we're gonna hold that level, because then you're gonna have a valid long if we're gonna break this structure to the upside, but only if we're gonna break it. There is no need to long it if we're gonna go, for example, only to the daily or below the daily, and then you start failing the weekly. There is no point to long it because you don't have the structure to the upside. You're still continuing breaking the structure to the downside. If that makes sense. Shit. Tia. There we went. It's simple when I explain it. I understand that it's simple, but when you're gonna start practicing, it's gonna be simple for you as well. And like I said, quite a lot of times as well, keep the levels. Like this should be your chart, right? The high and lows and the levels. This should be your standard chart, and you will see one day it will click with you, like why and how we behave and where do we bounce from it, where are the swings from it. And to be confirming everything, use the still fibs for yourself to have the entry or exit, however you want to depend on it. Because there is nothing else to it, to the basic of charting. It's price action, of course, but the structure. This is the most important thing, however you want it. Because without the structure, there is no need to do even the TA. Right? So practice. If you start practicing that, then everything else and everything around it's gonna be much more easier for you, and you're gonna be much better in it, and you're gonna keep your head straight and calm in way than of charting, right? Because right now as well, like, okay, I'm gonna explain this on TIA chart a little bit more. Like, okay, we know the levels, but without looking at those levels, right? Look at the structure. What did we do? Ask yourself. The only thing what you need to do at charts, ask yourself, what are we doing right now? At daily, 4 hours, doesn't matter because it's 4 hours still same. Yeah, see, same. Okay, let's do it on daily, it's easier. What do we do over here? What did we do? We broke this whole structure. This structure been broken by this move. Even better, we create a new lower low over here from this area, right? The lowest point kind of age from the, not counting the list price, right? That's on the daily, I know, but still remember, doesn't matter which time frame it is. If this can be as well 1 minute, right? But then if we broke this structure and we have this as our low, what do we gonna do next? What's the next point, right? This been our highest point. So this is your low, this is your high, right? From this swing, this is the highest point where we went. Then we failed that, right? You do this, we get lower point. What's next? Resistance. Where is our resistance? Our resistance gonna be definitely, this is the resistance, and I guess gonna be a little bit below that. We will hit that, right? And by hit that, you mean gonna do something like this, right? Or even better, something like this. Both of those moves have a reason to doing that. This is a resistance. We always have and will have a pullback or aggressive bounce from it, from a resistance, right? If the move to the upside is going to be really aggressive and you're going to go through the resistance and gain the whole structure. So this is the area what you need to gain first. This you swing, previous swing, what you need to gain. By gaining that means higher time frame from 4 hour to the higher time frame close above it, right? That's your gain. Wick doesn't matter. We don't give a shit about the wicks. It's only about the close. So you need to close anything above this, right? And then you might target this area to go higher. But so far, the first important thing is this. And what you want to see is, okay, it's a little bit, what you want to see is go, close, you have a pullback, you create your flip kind of ish, support, right? And then you can count for a continuation to long it. Because then you start to change your structure from going to the downside. You gain something, so you start to change to going higher. That's how you read the chart. Oh. And you always need to ask yourself, what do we do now? What's next? What we're gonna do? So from this high, this low, what's in between? Not much. So we need to gain this to go higher. Simple as that. And yes, on a lower time frame, like, it doesn't mean you need to short only. No, you fucking can long this. I mean, it's a quite nice move if you're gonna long this still here and then short it to the support and then do it again, long it. Like, that's how you play it, right? Because technically, this been your low, right? You came up, you we didn't kind of ish break it, but still we came down, we test it, and we holding it. Even we create a new low and then break it, but we still on the wick we holding it, so you could had a nice long from it, right? Really strong. If the for the first time to be tested, really strong. Monthly, monthly, weekly are really strong, but it depends. Like for example, I mean, this says already enough, right? This move, your February level been open over here. What do? We went to the downside, right? And then, fucking hell, fuck off. And then we came up to it, and look what we did. Yes, we went higher on the wick. Where did we close? Over here. Did we ever, from this move, came close to that level? No. See? And this could be as well your resistance, kind of ish already playing as a resistance, right? Because we're not coming close to it, but we're already turning around. And yeah, this, if we open over here and that didn't been tested, that means we might wick it or whatever, go higher and then close below and go here to test the weekly. Yeah, it is still on the table, right? We did it, and like go by and back test it, like how the levels played out. That's why they are here, and that's why they are important. High time frame levels on the opens, there is no question about it. You shouldn't be no questioning it, right? Because you can go by and you can test it, how we behave and how we retest it. Like over here as well, like look at that September level, right? This been our September level. We open it, we went lower, and what do? We flipped it. And how did we flip it? Like literally to the T. This was the flip of it, right? And look what we did. We came back to it, even secondary we tested, right? And we did even the same move from it. And then we start to losing it. And even then we lost it, right? We closed below, but we still hold the swing. So that level might not be anymore that relevant. But look what we did afterwards when we hold this swing from the September, because this is your September swing, right? We test the level, but then we test the swing. Look how strong the swing is on that one, what we did. It's a fucking bang on, right? That's why I say, like, if you understand the structure, swings on top of that, there's nothing else that holds you back to trade both ways the same time. It doesn't matter anymore. You're not gonna care anymore about the price, the volatility, nothing anymore, because it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter the news and who's gonna say something, especially that fucking, yeah, you know what I mean. Because it doesn't matter. The market will do their own thing. Even, yes, there's gonna be volatility in it, but the structure is the king next to the price action. That's the only thing what you should matter about it. And that should be your only rule on the market. Why do you think that Stu is so popular and the most richest person in Canada and doing his taxes already for days, because he need to go through all of the all of the trades? Because structure is the key. There is nothing else to add to it. Like there is nothing else more important than your structure, right? That's why we always mention, break something, you continue. Fail something, you continue in that direction, right? Because technically, like, it's not that I'm pressing it or something. Technically, this is still the down move on TIA, right? Did we break on, okay, that's a daily, but did we break anything on the daily side? No. Right? So trade the trend, sorry. And yes, I know bullish and everything, news, we went high, Bitcoin broke its structure. Yes, I know, but it's still trade the coin, how it is and what it's showing you. Trade the structure. There's nothing else to it, right? Technically, this was your, yeah, see? This was your stupid fib. Look at that. 4 hour. Why? Did we broke anything on the 4 hour? No. We holding it. Quite perfectly, technically, as well. So, even in the trend, downtrend, you still can trade both ways. Like, it doesn't mean you need to short everything to the death. Like, guys, there is always both ways to trade. Even if you do this, you still can do the moves on the alt, especially on the alt, because they have like quite massive moves, right? And right now on the 4 hour, you can say like, if you like to trade 4 hour, right? This you low, this you low high, this you higher low. So you build the structure to go higher. You broke your previous lower high. So this is your high from this point. So this is your higher high, right? You change the 4 hour structure already, but that's only this 4 hour structure. It doesn't mean the daily yet, because this is your daily higher high, right? So right now, if we start breaking to the downside, this is your next move, if you want to be more clear about it, right? If you're not gonna bounce back from weekly or whatever, but then you come back to the area when you need to bounce from it, and this is your 4 hour bounce. Oh, to go and hit your daily position, because there is nothing else anymore in between. This is the move to go and break out on the daily side, right? If we get that, I hope so, because I'm gonna fucking long the shit out of it. I'm still in the long, but that doesn't matter, and I'm still in the short. So you see, like, doesn't matter if you do it both ways, and nobody cares if you catch the bottom, the top, or whatever, if you have the biggest, the longest swing, or it doesn't matter. The only thing what matters is taking profit and be profitable. And listen to your own rules and your own strategy. Don't get confused by especially X news, volatility, or whatever else it's coming your way. Because they're always going to be there. They're always going to try to confuse you, and they're always going to try to make you doubt yourself. Not to trade, or maybe not to take profits, or not to get out from the trade, to get liquidated by them if you're not going to follow your own rules or whatever. Structure-wise, there is nothing in between. Yeah, lower time frame. Yes, this is valid on lower time frame, so have any reaction on it. But on a 4 hour, I only considering if the trade the time frame what you are in, right? So if you're trading the 4 hour time frame right now, then the only thing what I'm interested in is this swing, because this swing took us over here with no stops in between, als in higher low, higher highs, or whatever, like mentioning this on the something like that, right? Then you had one stop over here. This is your floor, and now you are continuing to this resistance. Yes, you can have these moves, right? Up and down, whatever, grinding it to the upside. That's always, because that's the lower time frame. You can have this. But structure-wise, the most important things are the highs, the lows, and where to break them. Everything in between, it's noise. It's a lower time frame. You can scalp that. But if you take the swings, there is nothing in between. Why? Why you care about this? Yes, if there's going to be any kind of like, I don't know, monthly level is going to open over here, then you might have reaction or a volatility moment on around that level, but that's all. But then still, structure matters. So if you want, what do you need to do to go higher? And by higher, I means to go like fucking all-time high or whatever, to the moon, or what people I want. you need to gain something. What do we need to gain first? This is your first level to gain on the daily, to go and have a swing on the daily swing, and to break the daily structure to the downside, right? Like, for example, we used to do it over here. We had that move, but we didn't hold that for any shit. That was kind of a liquidity grab. I'm looking at it, but it is what it is. We didn't do it, and we failed that, right? So first thing first, technically on the daily, it's a little bit higher, but I want to see break that of the structure, because this is the structure what brought us to the downside. It's we did something like this. From here, we went higher, we went lower, we broke this, then we halfway went up, and we didn't even had the fuel to go higher to test this swing, March. And then we just broke the structure again. And now the first thing what you want to see is break this, and then you can go and technically hit anything higher or above you. And yes, in the meanwhile, right, short this, long this, like, but that's how the structure works, and that's how you see it. There is nothing else more important than that. Like, technically, if you really want to learn it, right, I would suggest you to do this, but that will break your brain. This is the only thing what matters. Yeah, wicks are important, I know, but to understand structure, the body's only. I hope that's a little bit clear. That's the grass. And look at that. I mentioned grass Wednesday as well. Perfect. Into the fucking resistance pocket. And then what do we did? Bang on. Bang freaking on. We didn't even break it, anything. And that's on the daily. God damn it. How is it 4 hour? Please say we broke it. Fuck me. Okay, never mind. It is what it is. Farty had some nice moves. Still grinding it. Yeah, that one went into the pocket. Nice. Back to Q4, close below. Yeah. Obey the rules. Yeah. Agree. Agree. Yeah, breaking structure. Let's see if Fight's gonna push it higher. Could be. I'm gonna do the same move over again. Yeah, could be. Okay, but the daily looks fucking horrendous. Anyway, on to the biggest meme coin so far, and as mentioned on Wednesday, to the freaking T. Love it, fucking love it. Oh boy. Mm-mm. To be honest, this have one more one more move to regain, and that's only weekly to have a continuation. Fail that, then I'm not sure what Eve's gonna do. So far, doesn't look nice. Doesn't look good. Like, we are fucking trading on 1K 1796. Where did we been there? last year, 2013, 23, sorry, 2023, November. Cool. Cool. Adrian. Yep. Easy. So the swing points, what you are looking for, let them load. I don't draw them by my own. I will be crazy to do that. Those ones, right? They are on AI charting tools, right? So you go over here and then you look for the swing points. That's the one of the highest settings what you can have over here, the top settings. You look for the swing points and you set them on wicks, not bodies, on wicks. And you can change the colors however you want. Yeah. That's why. Technically, like, it's, okay, fuck it, I can leave that. This is the settings what you should run on AI charting tool. That's the basic what you need to have. It's the swing points and the levels. There's not much anymore to add to it. Like, yeah, you can go even to for the order blocks and everything, but I'm not bothered anymore about that. Or support resistance, quite as well. Like, yeah, you can if you like that, but this is the basics. This should be like 24/7 on your charts constantly, without even thinking about it to switching off. This is your levels, your swings points, and nothing else. And you technically with this already, you covered 70% of the charting. It does for you already, right? It's that easy. The rest, like the 4-hour high and lows swings, then yeah, you need to do the manually if you like that. If not, then it's all fine as well. But this is already technically 70% of your charting. By looking at that, you should know already how you're gonna trade, or in which move or in which trend you're gonna be. How do we do on hype? So the importance of the levels, all of them are important, but there is a but to it. Like daily, it already says to you it's daily, so you have a daily open and close 7 times in a week, right? So let me clear that. Wait, I'm gonna make it easier to understand. So for example, over here, you can see it, you can go by the chart, like switch them on and go back in the time and see how they play out. So then you learn yourself the importance of them and how volatile they can be. And as well, it depends as well which day of the week, right? The open of the week, Monday, it's always going to be more volatile than, for example, I don't know, Thursday or whatever. And it's not that you need to trade the days of the week, it's more to understand the volatility of it and the aggressive moves what you can have from it. Because right now over here you had Tuesday, right? No, sorry, that's the Thursday move. We went straight to the downside. We came up, kind of tested, flirted a little bit around here, and then we went higher from it, right? We gained that. But then another day, that's of course, Friday opened up as well. We had the move to the downside, and then we skyrocketed to the upside. And now we have 2 overlapping even days, like you see over here. That's the Saturday, of course, a little bit sideways, went down, went up, we closed below that, and what we doing right now. And same over here, Sunday open, right? Sunday open, we went higher, test this swing to the T, we went lower, we closed below the previous event, And now we are trading below that. And the first thing right now what we're gonna do is backtest that, bearish backtest. And that means we have a continuation. Gain that, close everything above here, you have a continuation to go higher, right? Weekly open, that means as well Monday opens, are quite quite volatile, right? This one was quite special, of course, because we had an aggressive move. But then go previously weekly, that's as well important to have, to understand how and what they do, right? Even over here, we opened up the weekly, we went higher, we perfect to the T, we tested it, and we went even more higher. Then we failed that, we kind of flirt that, we regained that level, and look what we have. We have a continuation, right? This was your test again. Another one, swing if you missed it, and you have a continuation to it. Easy as that. So yeah, daily levels are as well good to trade it on the daily basis or on scalp or whatever. You really, those moves are amazing. Weekly are much better. Monthly are incredible. They're always going to be volatile. Like April Q2. Look what we did on April Q2. Perfect backtested. And look what we did. This move. That's why I said, switch them on and go by the charts and see how it behaves. Look at it. I can tell you how good they are. You need to see by your own or trade it, because then you will understand how good they are and how powerful they are, how much movements they have if you want to trade the levels, the opens. It's only by practicing. It's showing it. It literally shows you. You can go and backtest everything, but it shows you all of the moves. I wish we could go. Yeah, I guess you can if you do replay. Well, you can go back in time and see how they perform. But they are here, and especially like I think that the February move from this year is the best move to show you how important they are and how fucking aggressive they can be. Like, look what February did. Literally from, okay, yes, I know it's been because of the break of the structure, right? But that monthly open, if we talk about the levels and monthly opens, how important they are, look what February did, technically. So tell me if this open isn't quite important and not really aggressive, but like intense, and how good they play out always, right? With perfect backtest. So if you miss this move, I mean, boy oh boy, you could have a swing another one on it, right? But yeah, first, structure is always first, because that always will come first after price action. Then you have your monthly or weekly levels or whatever, right? So it's all depending on your own way of trading, what you want to trade, how you want to trade, and everything around it. It will help you with it to keep you in check. And those are the levels as well that they keep you in check, right? So the only thing right now what you're looking at is you want to see what's going to happen over here. Why? Because simple. That was your daily open. We went on the previous one. We backtest this swing, right? This swing's been backtested. There's not much to do anymore, because if you go higher, you go straight to 100 watt something, because there is nothing that's going to hold you over here. We bearish backtest this swing. So now the only thing what's left is this daily. This daily, it's the only thing what's left to technically be tested and see how we're gonna behave on that one. And so far, we have still 6 hours to do that. Or, I mean, 6 hours in this day, but of course we can do it on another day as well, but to have it like importance of this day on the Sunday trade, right? And then we have a weekly open somewhere over here, and that one's gonna be quite significant. aggressive, maybe. I don't know if you want to call it aggressive, but it's going to be quite volatile. Always. Monday opens, man, those days are always fun to watch. Is it clear? Make sense to all of you guys? Most of you? Perfect. Nice. Yeah, like, I mean, you can listen to me constantly saying the same thing over, but just switch them on. Switch them on. Don't worry about the width. That's, you don't need to worry about that. I mean, if you want to change it, fine. Colors up to you. Switch them on and go back in their history and check them. Then you will understand it. Yes, I will. It's definitely it's on the MDX. Yeah, it is on the MDX. It will be, and it's gonna be as well on my YouTube if you want that. So yeah, it's gonna be posted, definitely. But that's the whole thing. Like, don't if we have the time, guys. Yeah, I understand. If you have time for it and you want to deep dive in something, just switch it on, even if it's an indicator or like an option on an indicator, and have a look on it, how it works. Because the thing is, like, yes, you can ask us about it, and man, we will give you the most explanation, whatever you want, and how you want to deep dive into it. But to go by yourself, train your brain to look into it and make use of it and try it, that's the best practice what you can have it, right? Like, for example, right now I'm seeing Eagle in the chat. Like, if you ask Eagle how to set up the bot, man, this guy gonna give you like an essay explanation how to set up a bot, right? And how it works. And that's fucking amazing. But when you go by yourself and try to do it as well, later if you understand how to do it, of course, you're gonna get better and better in it by yourself as well, right? Practice. That's the only thing. Makes you, I mean, good, great, master of trading, whatever, how you want to call it. But that's the only thing what you want to do. It's constantly practicing it in any kind of way, how you want it. And same with your strategy, right? You don't go and take one strategy, copy it, and paste it into your own and follow that. You need to backtest it. You need to understand it. You need to know what you're doing. And by that doing means go backtest it, use it, try it, understand it, learn it. Algo master for your trades. Yes and no. So the thing is, I'm going a little bit more like, I don't know if you want to say like back in the evolution. I'm going a little bit back to the basics, more and more to it, just to have like a clear mind. What I like to use on Algo Master sometimes, support the resistance, right? Most of them, sometimes I switch them on, and the bands, combination bands. So those are the only two things what I'm personal want sometimes if I really not sure or want to go deep dive a little bit more into the chart, I will switch them on, right? Oh, I have the Fips on. I guess so. So those two things I will have switched on. Jesus, that color. So this is kind of what my Algo Master would look like if I would need to use it. If not, I mean, yeah, for the bots, of course, then you use the most of it. But for my manual trading, will be this area to be interested into it, right? If I want to see, like, are we squeezing? Like, yeah, of course we are. What's in below or above us? So now I know that there is an order block, and below us as well, the bands, we are literally in the middle, so we are squeezing. So this shit will go eventually. Oh, wrong one. So we will have something like this, and then we will have pop of pop, right? That's the squeeze. And literally, like, you can use the bands like to the T. If anything comes into the band, like quite aggressive, then yeah, that is your move. That's how I always use it, right? But that's the only thing when I'm using it. I used to use like more from it. if you're not counting the bot system, right? Oh, the bands, for me it's quite easy. I like to see how thick they are. So for me that means that's quite volatile, or both ways or whatever. And for me, I just want to see, like, did we bend into the band like this move, right? So eventually what you're creating right now is this. Same here. He went into the band, quite aggressive as well. Not really into it, but still. So I like to see the bounce from it. That's how I use the bands. And of course, I like to see the squeezes, right? Oh, yeah. It's not that they are always on. Sometimes I used to have them on, but I like to have clean and clean and clean and clean charts. So yeah, that's how I'm kind of ish using AlgoMaster. I know there is much more potential from it, especially on the bots. But like as well, to be confirming your VIP setup, you can switch the VIPs on it, right? And even here you have the daily opens. But that's the only thing. What mainly my attractive signals, I'm not really using them. It sounds, I mean, signals are technically on AlgoMaster, signals are good for bots. Manually trading, sometimes it might confuse you as well and gives you the signal what you don't want or whatever, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, what I need to do. It still gives this good signal, but it shouldn't be trade straight ahead, right? It takes time to play them out most of the times. So yeah, that's my AlgoMaster point of view. For me, AI charting tool, liquidations. There is that's the golden combo, especially with the bands. This is the golden combo. You can never can go wrong with those two together. So yeah, I'm not really like big on the indicators, especially like I'm the only thing what I'm using. If I'm switching my charts on, then I'm looking at this. This is what I'm looking at. Only this. Problem with the AlgoMaster. That was, you see in the options, it's not the same options we have now since the video. Yeah, it's an old one. Yeah, they're gonna be updated. They're working on the written version on explanations as well, docs, and they will have a little bit more videos on indicators after the party, of course, because right now no one is even able to do anything on charts. They are that kind of far away and deep dive into the drinks. So after the party and when everything is going to be calmed down and everybody's going to come back to the reality, then they're going to work a little bit more on that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have more like bigger as new development of indicators, because we kind of I'm thinking out loud, I'm not sure yet, I didn't spoke to the guys about it, kind of is like hitting the ceiling with the amount what we can put in the indicator. So I think they're gonna focus a little bit more on the explanations, and Viking's gonna do a stream as well, he said. Well, yeah, he said that already like for weeks. So yeah, there is a lot of explanations, yeah, to deep dive into it. But that's as well, like, guys, you can ask us as well about it. When we stream, when we have our events, or it doesn't matter who, you always can ask about this, and we will explain you like to the date with the new setups and with the new indicators and the settings on it, how they work and how they perform and how you can use them. Yeah, the Wave Master, it's this is golden. Like, I can live without it anymore as well. Like this, and I even that I have it like as simple as possible. I love Harmony. That just because of my nostalgia from our previous group where we've been in, and when we formed those indicators from. So Harmony is my to go. And I mean, this is what I'm doing. Like, there is not much. I don't even have the divergence on it because I spot them. I like to spot them by my own. So yeah, even that is as simple as possible and as clean as possible. Oh yeah, that's a gold one. And yeah, like right now, right? Bitcoin. Yeah, we are in Bitcoin. We are middling. So, but I like to combine those two. Why? Because you need to understand that this indicator is on steroids. So there is like, fuck, I guess I don't remember actually how many indicators, oscillators, sorry, been formed into that one. But I guess it was like over the 10 oscillators, most popular oscillators put together in one kind of ish. You can say that. I know I'm explaining this quite quick, but it's like on really on steroids. But RSI gives me like a little bit more in depth on strength on the move. So even if we are middling right now, we are not even close on the RSI. So I like to combine those two. That's why I have them most of the times, and that's all. That's literally all. And most of the times, this is what I'm looking at. Like 99% of my charts, this is what I'm looking at. Because for me, man, I used to be there as well. Like shitloads of indicators, like all of the plays, and my charts went full with it. Yeah, I've been there, but eventually, uh, I don't know how to say it, but we have a saying over here in Holland, like through all of the trees, you don't see the forest anymore. If you understand what I mean, like I don't know how to explain it, but it get like overwhelmed as well, and you find yourself not really confusing, but not being 100% accurate with your own thoughts, with your own guts, or with your own strategy, just because every single thing shows you something different, and then you need to be like a little bit in between. So yeah. Oh yeah, that might be as well. We say like a little bit different, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm translating from Holland, so it might be a little bit. See the wood from trees. Yeah, see, like every single country have different saying in it, but yeah. But that's the thing, like that's why like from a year already, like I went like clean as possible charts, as I don't know, as simple as possible as well, and that's the best thing. Curva the trees in the way. Yeah, exactly. The trees are curva in the way. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly the Polish way. Yeah, I don't see my vodka because of the trees. Yeah. Yep, exactly that. Exactly, that was on the point. Yeah. So yeah, but that's as well, like like it gives you a little bit of realization, like what do you need actually to be even a trader, or like to trade well and good as well. Like you don't need much. Give me a stick of stone and you can fucking trade. Like it doesn't matter. And yeah, if you like fucking 16 different indicators and oscillators and millions of fucking lines on your chart, and then you're gonna say like, yeah, we will go maybe there. Yeah, fine. Be my guest. Like, I'm not fucking discarding that, but it's up to you what you like. I like simple. Simple, easy, quick, whatever. I've fuck, I remember we used to have a guy. I don't know what he was using. Pitchfork. Yes, fucking else. Something like this. It was when he shows his chart, I was like, dude, what are you smoking? Even Stu doesn't smoke that shit. Like, it's a rape. Yeah, exactly. That's a fucking rape on the chart. Like, man, we've been like through so many. Stick and tree. Didn't take. Didn't take. Oh. Don't tell me what I don't smoke. Yeah, I see. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Which one? I have no clue, man. But believe me, I'm not saying that I'm like the longest in the game, but believe me, like me and Ego, we saw so many charts from people, and boy, oh boy, we had some fun with it. I don't smoke. Oh, Stu. So yeah, it's fun to see some charts, and by all means, you know, if it's working for you, be my guest, use that. But it's fun to see some different ways of trading and what people do. But to be honest, and to switch from yapping around to have a point, like there is one thing and one thing only. It doesn't matter how many millions lines you have it over here and what you're doing on the charts, right? It doesn't matter. What matter is the way and when you pull the trigger. If you have millions of lines of the charts and you still don't pull the trigger to take a trade, the only thing what you are a painter and a drawer or whatever. How you can you are art, you just draw shit on the charts without pulling any trigger. That's the only what you are. Because till you're gonna start pulling trigger on all of the lines, then you can become a trader. But so far, doesn't matter what you're doing over here, right? If you don't have the guts and still this doesn't give you any kind of information to pull the trigger, then you are a I don't know, painter or whatever, Picasso. A stroke here. Yeah. don't stroke. But it is, I mean, it's true, right? What are we, or what are we want to become? We want to become a trader. How do we do that? By pulling the trigger on the trades, on the strategy, what your own chart showing you, right? So the moment that you only drawing on the charts and not pulling the trigger, you're not gonna become a trader. You are maybe an analyst or whatever how you want to call yourself, but you are not a trader because you don't trade. And that's the line in the sand. You need to pull the trigger, one moment or another. So that's why I really don't give a shit what you have on your charts. The only thing what matters is, are you pulling the trigger? Are you taking profits? Are you profitable? That's the only what matters. And how you do that? To you. So yeah. And so far, if you're gonna only draw on the charts and do that only, then you are a Picasso. I just trade of vibes. Yeah. But hey, tell me I'm wrong. It is what it is. It's the truth. And the only thing what matters. So yeah. Let's go and have a look how that looks. Weekly, yeah. Let's see. I'm really interested in the weekly close right now. How that's gonna look like. It looks quite strong right now. If you're gonna close above it, all fine. Yeah, we're gonna continue. And to be honest, then the only thing what matters then is the yeah, that's gonna be the only one what matters for me. That's 150k resistance, and how we're gonna play that. If we're gonna continue, that's all fine. But remember, that's one of the biggest resistance since February. So we will have any kind of reaction from it. Don't think we will go straight to fucking 150, 100. And boy, I even saw somebody mentioning we're gonna go to 240. Yeah, I would like to see that, and I would like to have that same shit what they smoke, but and I guess you want to smoke that as well, but Ganja Go, you are here. What kind of shit they smoke? Tell me, or eat, or whatever, to see that kind of things happening. But joke on the sides, 150k. That's a resistance. Next resistance, bigger resistance, what we are facing if we're gonna go in one go. And yeah, that's actually a little bit all from the recap. So far, I will be here later on. I'll send in the night, evening, how you depends on the country or the time zone what you are, to see the close, daily close, weekly open, and any kind of reaction from it. Yeah, let's see what the next week's gonna give us. We still have, like I mentioned, the weekly below us. It's not been tested. We might come back to it. It's a quite thick pocket, even with the liquidity over here. So it's interesting. We might come back and test that, right? For a continuation. If so not, then still lower, it's fine, and bounce from that. If we're not gonna break anything below the 79, then it's all fine and dandy. So far, middle, previous resistance, but middling, and let's see how we're gonna outperform that. Right now, technically, if we're looking at the price action right now on the daily, we bearish back tested previous swing, and we continue to the downside. That's the only thing what I'm saying. I know we still can turn around and we still can go higher, but even oscillator on the daily starts to give some weakness into it. It's not confirmed yet by all means, but it's still showing some weakness, right? So by that, I'm gonna close my recording for YouTube. I will stay here for a little bit longer if people want to join, if people want to talk, if you want to go even buy some alts or whatever, by all means, let me know. All right, so thank you very much, appreciate it, and I'm gonna see you next week Wednesday on the flip side. See ya.